Hey everyone, welcome back to Taboo Talks, Unfiltered Debates. Today's topic is not an easy one. It's raw, it's uncomfortable, and it's one that most people don't want to talk about. But I'm going to talk about it because it needs to be said. Have you ever felt so low, so broken that you're crying every night, feeling like you just can't do this anymore? Like the weight of the world is pressing down so hard on your chest that even breathing feels like a chore. Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, what's the point? Why am I even here? If that's you, or if it's been you, this is for you. I see you. I've been there. And let me tell you right now, you are not alone. We're told to put on a brave face, to soldier on, to stay positive, as if those two words could magically fix everything. But what happens when positivity feels like a foreign language? What happens when the pain gets so loud that you can't hear anything else? People like to throw around phrases like, it gets better. And sure, it's true. But when you're at rock bottom, hearing it gets better can feel like an insult because better feels so far away that it might as well not exist. When you're crying every night, the future feels like a cruel joke, doesn't it? Let me tell you something they don't tell you about hitting rock bottom. It's not the end. It's the foundation. When everything feels like it's falling apart, it's because the version of you that you're clinging to isn't working anymore. And yeah, it hurts like hell. It feels like you're losing everything. But what if, just what if you're not losing? What if you're being stripped down so you can rebuild? I know that might sound like bullshit right now, and I'm not here to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that life is easy, because it's not. Life is hard. Life is unfair. Life is brutal. But let me ask you this. If you're already in hell, why not keep walking? Let me give you an example of someone who walked through hell and came out stronger. Oprah Winfrey, a name we all know today, didn't start with a glamorous life. She grew up in poverty, was sexually abused as a child, and faced rejection after rejection in her early career. She was told she wasn't fit for television. Can you imagine if she'd believed that? But she didn't give up. She kept going, and today she's one of the most influential people in the world. Because here's the thing about pain. It doesn't last forever. Even when it feels like it's carved itself into your bones, even when it feels like it's become a part of you, pain is not permanent. You are not your pain. You are not your struggles. You are not the worst thing that's happened to you. And those nights when you're sitting alone crying, feeling like no one understands, like no one would even notice if you were gone. Let me tell you something about those nights. They're lies. The pain is lying to you. The thoughts that tell you you're worthless, that no one cares, that it would be better if you weren't here. Those thoughts are liars. You know how I know? Because you're still here. Despite everything, despite the pain, despite the darkness, you're still here. And that tells me one thing. There's a fighter in you. Even if you don't feel it, even if you think you've given up, there's a part of you that hasn't. That's why you're still breathing. That's why you're still listening. Think about J.K. Rowling, the woman who created Harry Potter. She was a single mother, living on welfare, struggling with depression, and feeling like a complete failure, but she kept writing. She held on to the hope, no matter how small, that things could get better. And look at her now. Her stories didn't just change her life, they changed the lives of millions. And let me tell you something else. They don't want you to know how strong you are. They being the voices in your head, the ones that tell you to quit, the ones that tell you you're not enough. They're terrified of your strength. Because if you keep going, if you keep fighting, you'll prove them wrong. Look, I know it's tempting to think that ending it all would be easier. I know what it's like to feel so tired that even waking up feels like a punishment. But here's the thing about ending it. You'll never know. what comes next. You'll never know what could have been. You'll never know the person you're meant to become. You see, every story has chapters, and right now you're in the darkest chapter of your book. But the story doesn't end here. You have so much more to write. You have more love to give, more memories to make, more people to meet who will change your life in ways you can't even imagine yet. Think about Nelson Mandela. He spent 27 years in prison for fighting against apartheid. He could have given up. He could have let the bitterness consume him, but he didn't. When he walked out of that prison, he became a global symbol of resilience and change. I want you to do something for me right now. Breathe. Just take one deep breath. Feel that? That's life. That's you, still fighting. That's you, still here. And as long as you're breathing, there's hope. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. It won't be. But you don't have to do it all at once. You don't have to figure it all out today. All you have to do is take it one moment at a time. And when it feels too heavy, when it feels like you can't take another step, reach out. Talk to someone. Call a friend, a family member, a hotline. Hell, scream into the void if you have to, but don't stay silent. You're not meant to carry this alone. You matter. Your story matters, and the world is better with you in it. I don't care what your pain tells you. I don't care what your darkest thoughts say. You are worth staying for. And one day, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but someday, you're going to look back on this moment and you're going to thank yourself for holding on. You're going to see how far you've come, and you're going to be so damn proud. So keep going, keep breathing, keep fighting, because your story isn't over. If this message resonated with you, share it. Someone out there needs to hear this just as much as you did. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more unfiltered conversations. This is Taboo Talks, Unfiltered Debates. Stay strong, stay hopeful, and I'll see you next time.
Taboo talks, we light the flame, push the boundaries, break the game. No filter, no disguise, we open minds, we open eyes. Taboo talks will carry on, challenging thoughts until they're gone.